Welcome back to another episode of The Perspective. I am your host, Brooklyn 80s, back with another good episode here for you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about Tyler Marsh and his thoughts on Angel Reese, his thoughts on the Chicago Sky, and his thoughts on the draft. Before we get into that, I want to say shout out to all my supporters, shout out to my subscribers, shout out to everybody who's been running the likes up, hitting that like button, and shout out to everybody that's been hollering at me in the comments. I appreciate you. Thank you. Also, shout out to everybody who's been hitting my Cash App. Shout out to everybody who's been hitting me in the Zelle. I appreciate any donations you guys want to give to the channel. Thank you. Also, I'm on my road to 500. So if you enjoy what you're watching, when you watch my content, make sure you don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you don't forget to hit the like button. Hit the bell, turn the bell on so you get notified every time I drop a video. And with no further ado, let's get right into it. I want to give a big shout out to On the Turf podcast with Nat and Callie, two dope young women that cover the WNBA. They did an interview with Tyler Marsh, and I thought I'd give my perspective on the things that he had to say. So with no further ado, let's get into it.
To the big move to trade for somebody like Ariel, you still have like your exciting rookies from last season to build on. You know, Nat mentioned Angel Reese at Unrivaled. What are you seeing from her, and how is that altering your expectations for this upcoming season from Angel?
Yeah, I don't think it's altered any. I think that we've always had high expectations for Angel, for Kamilla, for the rest of our team, and so it's just great to be able to see Angel's growth over the course of Unrivaled. From the start to where we're at now, and seeing her do things like, I mean, we know the rebounding ability that she has, but her ability to defend multiple positions, I think, has been on display in Unrivaled. Her ability to push the ball in transition has been on display as well. And I think passing is an underrated aspect of her game. And so I'm excited to utilize all of those strengths and skill sets that Angel has and import them into the rest of our team and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, so what I thought was interesting right there is what he said about Angel's growth, right? And the things that we see from Angel, her underrated passing ability, her rebounding ability, her ability to defend multiple people on the court. What that says to me basically is her game is translating even more to the W or to Unrivaled. These are W players, but we talking about Unrivaled right now. Her game is translating in Unrivaled, and the reason why I say that is this is the stuff that she was doing in college. This is stuff that she was already doing, and it's starting to now translate over more. The defense already translated. The defense and rebound, you already seen that last year. But the stuff that she's able to do on the floor as far as pushing the ball, being a point forward, playmaking, scoring the ball, being more efficient at the rim, those are things that are starting to translate for her more. And you're starting to see it already in Unrivaled. So a lot of people, you could tell who has IQ when they talk basketball and who doesn't, because a lot of people don't notice those things, or they just starting to see it now, or I'm surprised. Yeah, you surprised because you didn't want to see it before. You wasn't paying attention. You wanted Angel just to be this role player that you wanted her to be. You wanted her just to be this rebounder, but she has so many other skills that just don't show up in the stat sheet. Angel has so much other skills that you have to be able to look and just have that IQ. Getting back to IQ, you have to be able to have the IQ to see why she's a valuable player, right? And in a few seasons, who knows, maybe a most valuable player. But I just thought that was interesting, his comments, because a lot of people talk Angel Reese and they don't say the things he said. And he's a coach, right? He's been around NBA, he's been around WNBA. His father is a coach. He's been around basketball his whole life. So it kind of shows the IQ he has and what he sees. So I just thought that was interesting. And then you also can't say it's because he's Angel's coach, because he's been tweeting it since Angel's been in LSU. So thought that was interesting. Let's see what else Tyler Marsh had to say.
Talk a little bit more about Unrivaled. Curious to just, one, get your thoughts on the league as a whole, but also how you see Angel playing and developing her game in that league. She's had the chance to work with Lisa Leslie. We've seen video of Kalia Copper working with her on her finishing. She's looked great. She's been going off lately, but she just looks so good at Unrivaled. And so I see you tweeting about her all the time. Are you liking what you're seeing? And what is your thoughts on what the effect that Unrivaled's having on her game?
Man, it seems like my tweets always come up some sort of way pertaining to Angel. I know when I first got the job in Chicago, and people were digging in my tweets about her in LSU and kind of the potential that I saw there. But no, I think again, I think Unrivaled has been entertaining. It's been entertaining games across the board, and I think one of the cool aspects of it is that for the majority of the coaches, the 6 coaches that are there, they all have player development experience. So whether it's Angel or anyone else, kind of there, they're getting hands-on player development experience by top-tier coaches, and so that's been great. And then there's no replacement for playing against the best players in the world and the best players in the league. So being able to go up against that type of competition night after night, whether it's 3-on-3 or whether it's 5-on-5, it's a valuable experience for someone who's just entering their second year in their professional career at Angel. And so it's been great to see how her teammates have embraced her. Obviously, the experience that I've had with Chelsea personally in Las Vegas, I knew that was going to be a tandem that was, that was going to be very beneficial for Angel moving forward. And then when she gets to Chicago and playing with another, legendary point guard in Vandersloot, it's going to be a seamless transition for her. And so we're excited to get that going.
And yeah, so what's interesting about this is what he had to say here is the translation of the game from 3-on-3 to 5-on-5. Right, a lot of people have been critiquing Unrivaled, saying, "Oh, it's 3-on-3. Why are you getting so excited? This is not going to translate to 5-on-5." But that means you don't really know basketball, right? That goes back to the IQ of the game, because anybody knows that even in 5-on-5 sets, there's a lot of things that's ran in 3-on-3, right? The 2 extra people was out there on offense, either to be floor spacers, to be shooters, or on defense is to be help defenders, right? But a lot of things get ran through 3-on-3 in basketball, so it definitely translates. Also, what he said, all of the coaches and Unrivaled are developmental coaches, right? So the players that's there are definitely being developed. We see it in people like Angel Reese. We see it in people like Rakia Jackson, Aaliyah Edwards. We see a few people improving their game. So yeah, and then also what he said, there's no substitute for playing against the best players in the league. Like, that experience is invaluable. You get what I'm saying? So and then also he mentioned the relationship between Angel Reese and Chelsea Gray being beneficial, and then also the relationship she's gonna have with Vandersloot also beneficial for her and also Kamilla. You get what I'm saying? 2 veteran point guards that could bring the best out of their players. So, let's see what Tyler Marsh had to say next.
Ariel Atkins mentioned during her presser, she talked about Angel and Kamilla Cardoso a lot. She gave both of them a lot of high praise during her initial presser. And you called both Angel and Kamilla the cornerstones of the Chicago Sky franchise. So let's talk about Kamilla a little bit, because I see your tweets about her too. I'm going to keep bringing up your tweets, Tyler. But see, that's what Ariel Atkins had to say. Our young post players are people that can only get better. Do you agree with Ariel? Because Kamilla has been balling overseas, and I've seen you tweeting about her overseas.
Yeah, I think that people forget that Kamilla was the 3rd pick in the draft, and she's somebody that's a force to be reckoned with too. Her potential is through the roof. She's someone who is a willing and capable passer as well. So her ability to finish inside, but then also find the open teammate is going to be crucial in terms of how we want to play offensively. But defensively, those two are 2 young, mobile, active bigs that can rebound, that can defend, that can block shots. So I'm excited to see what the tandem can do moving forward, what their potential is individually, but then also together. And then, being able to watch a few overseas games of Kamilla over in China, like, she's been dominating over there in her own right. And so it's great for her confidence moving forward and how she brings that over and carries that over into the W season. But we're excited to get her back over here and to get to work, pairing her and Angel together. But yeah, those two are kind of the mainstays and the faces of this franchise, and being able to surround them with veterans that can help bring the best out of them on and off the court, I think is what our main goal was. And so I'm just excited to pair those our vets with our young talent.
Yeah, man. He says Camilla's potential is through the roof, right? A lot of people forget that she was a third pick. And what she's doing over there in China right now, she's looking like she's really coming into her own, And even evaluating Camilla's rookie season, when she came back from injury all the way up to the end of the season, you could see her growth then, right? You could see her getting more. So you see her starting off the year like unsure of herself, not really aggressive, to the point where she blocked, I think, 5 of Asia shots in one of her last games, right? And had the attitude and the moxie to back it up, right? Like, so yeah, Camilla's potential and what Camilla's potential and what she's able to accomplish and grow into her second year, I think is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting to see, because if Kamilla could become a top 5 big, top 3 big in the league, it's gonna make the Sky a real scary team to play. You get what I'm saying? With Angel Reese's development, Camilla's development, and then you add a leader like Courtney Vandersloot to that, is gonna really make Angel Reese and Kamilla a tandem, like Coach Marsh said, a tandem to be dealt with. Let's see what Tyler Marsh had to say next.
At this upcoming draft, what stands out to you about just what this league can expect from the upcoming talent?
Yeah, I think that it's a pretty deep draft, depending what you're looking for. But you have a bunch of scores in this year's draft, and so I think that figuring out what's the best fit for us. We obviously traded our 3rd pick, and so we have 10 now in the first round. We have 16 and 22 in the second round. So we're going into the draft with three overall picks, and so we're trying to find the best players that fit for our scheme and what we're trying to do in our culture and our locker room and things like that. And so we're looking forward to it, but I think that you look across the board, it's probably a guard heavy, wing heavy draft this year. But I think there's tons of talent this year, and looking forward to future drafts as well. I think college basketball is just loaded with talent and future talent. And as we expand in the W with more teams coming in, it's only going to help create future spots for these upcoming prospects that are coming out.
Yeah, so he says it's a deep draft. He says a deep draft, and Chicago was just looking for the best fit. He said it's a guard and a wing heavy draft, right? So Chicago is basically trying to find somebody that has high character, high IQ, and somebody that's gonna have championship mentality. Somebody that's gonna play for their teammates. And there's gonna be a lot of options. There's a lot of options in this draft to get you a good guard, which is an area of need for us, and to get you a good wing player, which is also still an area. We got a lot of wing players, but we still don't have somebody that's proven. So still an area of need for us. So yeah, that's basically what they looking for. Somebody that's gonna be good for the locker room. But let's see what Tyler Marsh had to say next.
to see the names on here, it looks like, Angel Reese could use a little depth to help her out. Are there potential further moves that are not in the draft that you guys might be looking to make, or do you think you're going to find that additional help in the draft to fill out the rest of this roster?
I think that what you've seen from us in free agency thus far and on the trade market thus far is we're not afraid to make moves and to take chances. And so I think that we're open to doing what makes sense for us to make us a better basketball team. But again, I think that we put a high priority on the individuals that we bring in here, from a cohesiveness standpoint. And so I think that kind of the vet presence that we have now, we feel good about what our front court depth looks like with Kamilla and Angel and Elizabeth especially. And so, I think that there's going to be different things that we can do. We want to be versatile. So maybe some instances where we're playing Michaela or Rebecca at the 4 as well. And so we're mix and match some things. But again, I think moving forward for filling out the rest of our roster, whether it's the draft or whether it's, finding in a free agency or in training camp, we just want to get, the best possible fits. We're not really tied into a position right now.
Once again, man, I want to say shout out to Callie, shout out to Nat from On the Turf podcast. You guys go support them. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Go like. Tell them I sent you. Tell them you came from the perspective with 80s baby. But shout out to them. They did a really good interview with Tyler Marsh. But my thoughts on that last clip he just said was this is what I've been saying. This is what I've been trying to tell people. A lot of people were so worried about that backup power forward position, but I don't think that Tyler Marsh or the Sky is worried about that position. If they do pick up somebody, it's because of what they said is their best fit. But with this being a guard heavy and wing heavy draft, like he said, I don't think that's a high need to back up for. I think a better need is to get a point guard to maybe back up and learn from Vandersloot. Maybe even take over the starting if they're a quick learner. I think it's people like Hermione Turner. I think of people like Haley Van Lith. I think of people like Emily Ryan. I think of people like Georgia Amore, right? I think of people like Cheyenne Sellers, maybe even a Sanaya Rivers. She could play the point or the 3, right? Somebody like Zay Green who could play the point or the 3. So those are different people that come to mind that they could pick up at that 10th spot, who's available for point guard. And the same thing for wing. I think of somebody like Aaliyah Nye, right? I think of somebody like Sarah Ashley Barker, Zay Green as well. They teammates. I think of somebody like Gianna Neepkins, right? I think of somebody like AZ Fudd, right? Or if you want to take a chance on a girl from overseas, I think of somebody like Asia Sifka. All options. I think of somebody like Sanaya Rivers, right? These are all options that you could get at 3 or at 1 to solidify your team, to find the best fit, the person who you feel like got the best IQ, the person who you feel like has the best chance of becoming a pro, either a great role player or maybe even an all-star, right? Same thing with shooting guards. You got Tahina Pow in the draft. You have JJ Quinterly in the draft. You have Isaiah James in the draft, right? You got a lot of good options at that shooting guard position that you could go get. And like I said, the Sky is looking for players with high IQ, players that's going to help build the culture in the locker room, players who's going to have championship mentalities, players who's going to play for their teammates. This is what they're looking for, right? Listening to Tyler Marsh, he's looking for the best fit, right? So with that said, man, that's the video. Once again, shout out to On the Turf podcast with Kylie and Nat. Definitely go support them and subscribe and show their channel some love. Like I said, tell them Brooklyn sent you. You came from the perspective of Brooklyn 80s, baby. Hop in my comments. Tell me what you think of this video. Tell me what you think of Tyler Marsh's comments. Tell me what you think of my responses to his comments. And that's it, man. I appreciate all you guys for supporting me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the channel. Holla at me in the comments. Send me a donation if you're feeling generous. I appreciate it. And everybody have a blessed night, man.